Okay, this is not actually technically, I'm going to do a little MYOG thing, but I also want to talk about my cook kit just because. So this is my ditty. It was actually really easy to make, and I used the leftover material from my backpack. Pepper, why? My cat, every time I make a video, I swear she's just got to try and jump in here for attention. So there's all of my, like, all of my stuff is in here. There's, like, my charger. This is there's an anchor charger. You can see the battery. Tells you how much. There's, like, this thing will charge my phone, like, 5 times, 4 times. I don't know. It's pretty decent, though. I got a little bag for my hygiene stuff. Shampoo, lotion, all that jazz. And I have my flashlight, which it's a very bright flashlight. And it was super cheap, so don't judge me. It does have a little adjustable thing on it, but it actually is a chargeable one, so I can just charge it off my battery, which means I don't have to go shopping for batteries now like that. I got a head net in here. And then this is the other thing that I made. This is actually I meant it to be a credit card holder, but the zipper is a little bit shorter. Like, I probably would need to make it like half an inch longer, and then it would work just fine. But it works as a first aid kit pretty well. You know, I just got like, I have some aqua tabs in here in case something happens to my water filter. There's a little piece of tent fabric in case I gotta make a patch for my tent. Little piece of the gear aid. Yeah. More patches. And this is actually a butterfly bandage, which I don't really use a whole lot of regular bandages, but I do have a couple in here just in case, you know, like blisters or whatever. The most important things in here, I would say, are like the butterfly bandage, because I have cut myself before, and then trying to get the bleeding to stop if you get a deep cut's pretty bad. I got some Benadryl in here. I need to put some more Benadryl in here because I had to raid this thing for my dog, actually. He ate chicken and he's allergic. I got an extra gasket for my Sawyer filter. And then this is little tiny thing here is the gasket for my stove, which I'm gonna actually probably pull out here in just a second because this video is really short. This ditty kit was really easy to make. It just has a regular single zipper on it. One way, I didn't even, like, I know a lot of people put 2-way and they get like a, you know, waterproof zipper, but my bag is mostly waterproof, so I don't suspect, like, even if it gets rained on, this isn't gonna get wet. But if I was really, really worried about it, I'd just throw all this stuff inside a Ziploc, because why not? Not really an issue though. The only thing that could actually get ruined in here is like my charger, and honestly, like, my charger, I usually stuff this down inside my backpack anyway, so it's not like riding on the top. Usually my food's on the top and then this sits somewhere in the middle, so it's probably not going to get wet anyway. But this is my cook kit. I have a little stuff sack for it here, which, you know, honestly, I could probably just put a rubber band around it because, like, I don't even really need this, but I have used it as a pot holder before, so usually bandana works better. But this keeps the little handles from jiggling. So I know a lot of people have cook kits, and I like to talk about what they keep in their cook kit. And you know, I've gone back and forth with stuff in mine, and I've used different things to see what works for me. And I have an alternative to this, but you know, I think that this actually works better for me, and most of the time I actually want this. This is the GSI cup, and it, as you can see, it nests inside of here really snug. Like, it just fits perfectly inside of my really dirty pot. I washed it. I know I washed it, but it still has a little bit of rice odor in there. This cup is actually like spill proof though. Like, really, actually, like, normally cups with lids aren't spill proof, and then also you have to worry about the lid falling off. But I found that this GSI backpacker mug is like the perfect mug for me. Like, I just love this mug. I can cold soak in it. It's 2 cups. I can cold soak in it. I can put like 2 cups of coffee, which is totally necessary for me, and it stays warm for like an hour. So I end up using this even at home, because when I want a big cup of coffee, I don't want it to go cold before I finish drinking it. And so like this thing has been just awesome. So then inside of here, you know, obviously if I take my GSI mug, I have to actually put my fuel separate, because one, I would never want to put fuel inside of here anyway, but like also my fuel canister won't fit inside of here. So it fits inside of the mug, or inside of the pot, but it doesn't fit inside the mug. So if I take my mug, I just throw my fuel on the outside. And then this is the GSI spork, and a lot of people use a titanium spork, but I'm not really a fan, because I feel like it scratches up my pot a lot. And then like, honestly, I kind of wish this was a spoon, because I don't really even use the spork function on it. And I think that I'd be able to, like, as you can see in my pot, here's my pot. If I am eating out of my pot, it's just long enough that, you know, I can reach the bottom and my hand doesn't get in there. I don't really use backpacking meals much anymore. Like, I mean, obviously you can eat out of a backpacking meal with a regular spoon. It's just, it's easier to get to the bottom of it if you have a longer handle. But honestly, I like the fact that I don't lose it, because if I throw it in my pot, when I'm done eating, I don't lose it. If I have a long-handled one, I can't put it in with my other stuff, and then it becomes a problem. So, other things I have, this is a little, this silly little facial scrubby, but I've actually found that cleaning my pot, if I get really, you know, like I really need to scrub it with something, yeah, you can use leaves or branches or whatever, but I just like having it. So, and it weighs like next to nothing. It's just a little piece of silicone, so it's easy to disinfect it. It doesn't, like, you know, it doesn't collect germs. Mini Bic. And then this is my BRS stove, my little, you know, like everybody knows this little BRS stove, everybody's got one. But like that little gasket in there was, you know, I keep an extra. And just a little tip for you, if you do get one of these, a lot of people complain about this control on here, the little, the knob. The thing about it is that when it's tightened down, it's actually putting pressure on the gasket itself. So, you know, when I store it, I actually give it a turn, so that there's no pressure on the gasket. And then doing that, it actually prolongs the life of the gasket that's in there. So, just little tips for you in case, you know, you want to use one of these guys. Yeah. So yeah, this lid fits pretty well. There's like a little rubber ring on it. I mean, like when I'm cleaning it, like you really should take that rubber ring off of there and like wash around it. But if you're just, you know, using it for a couple days, when you go into town or whatever, you're definitely gonna want to take it all apart and wash that out. That's the only thing about it. But that's literally the thing that makes it awesome, because it really does fit on here, and it just like you really have to push down, but once you do, like it's not coming off. And then to drink out of it, obviously you got your little, you know, you get your little spout. Anyway, I need to take it off and turn it the right way, but you got your little spout on there. And then the hole for venting or whatever is underneath. So when you do close this thing up, this stays tight. Like, I mean, I haven't had a single problem with it spilling, and I'd be pretty confident, like, just it goes inside there like that. And then, so yeah, then I can have a big huge cup of coffee. Just boil my water for my whole big cup of coffee, and then while I'm drinking my coffee, I can make my food. So I can have both at the same time. Like, You don't need to. Obviously, you could just make coffee in your pot and you could drink out of your pot if you have one of those like hot lips things or whatever, but I don't really like them. Not my fave. And also, like, kind of don't want to drink out of, it's not like a design flaw or anything. It's just, this is the 750 pot, if anyone was interested. It's basically the BRS pot, but it's like made by Lixada, and I got it a while ago when it was on sale. This part of the handle does actually get kind of hot while you're cooking with it. But other than that, it's a perfect pot. And I do have the lid, I just don't use the lid. Like, cause honestly, I did a couple times where I was cooking with it and I was like, I used the lid, but I always seem to burn myself on it. Like, I go to take it off or whatever, and like, there's a little spout where it's just like steam coming out of it, and it's just like Old Faithful, but for my fingers getting burned. So yeah, that's my cook set. That's it. That's all I really need. The other thing is, like, if I don't want to, I can't ever think of a time when I wouldn't want to take my GSI mug with me, but if that were to happen, I do have an alternative, which I might as well share because somebody out there might be interested in getting one of these. This is a few dollars. I think I paid like $5 for this thing, something like that. This is the Wildo Fold-A-Cup, and it works perfectly fine. Totally works. But the capacity on the one that fits inside of my pot is really not that big. I think it only holds like 6 ounces or 7 ounces. Like, I don't think I could even do a full 8 ounces, like, without spilling it. It's just very small. I know they make a bigger one. I know they make a bigger one, but I was really hoping that, like, I don't know. What's 2 cups? 2 cups is like, what, 30? How many ounces is that? 16 ounces. It's like almost twice the capacity of this thing, when I take my actual GSI mug with me. And then the other thing is, like, I had to come up with a way, like, clearly I could just put it in the sleeve, but I thought this was kind of cool too. It's not kind of DIY, but not really. If you take your pot, like I said, this is a 750, but I think it would work just fine on any size. I found this silicone lid, and I can actually use it as like a lid when I'm cooking if I want to. I just kind of set it on top of there just to trap some of the heat in. It doesn't really make it doesn't make much of a difference, but it actually stretches, so you can stretch it right over the pot. So then if you wanted to cold soak in your pot, like, that would be another way that you could do that. I know a lot of people are like, well, you know, I need a cold soak jar, and then, like, I don't want to do all of my meals cold and all of my meals hot, if you know what I'm saying, right? Like, sometimes it's easier to just take some ramen and just throw it in there and just let it soak. And if you're not wanting to take a cup at all, if you're just not a coffee drinker at all, then, like, one of these would actually work really well for you to be able to just put your food in the mug, and then you put this lid on it, and then just leave it and let it soak for a while. You don't have fuel, you know, maybe you're one of those people. I'm not one of those people. I like coffee, so this is an option. I got this online for like $1, super cheap. Yeah, so that's it. That's my cook set and my ditty bag. And there's nothing really extraordinary in here anyway, so since this was a shorter video, my other ones were like 30 minutes, and I think this one's going to be like a 15-minute video. Yep. Anything that I'm not using, like, even when I'm storing my stuff, it all goes in this ditty. And there's more room in it. Like, it's actually a very spacious ditty. Some people have like a little tiny one. I have like this monstrosity. And the way that I figured out how big to make it was, like, when I was doing my backpack, I decided to make the width of it so that when it sits inside of my backpack, it takes up nearly all of the space. Like, so, like, if it's facing this way, facing up, or I guess you could make it face down if you're worried about water getting in. But this is like the space inside of my backpack. And then if it's not all the way full, what I do is I actually take and I just kind of roll one side down, and then my cook kit ends up sitting next to it in my backpack pretty perfectly, just like that. So, yeah, so it's like not wasted space. It's good stuff.